Well then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Skyrim. With me, Sorcerer Dave, and Claudius over here. I have to admit, and some of you will probably be aware that I got a new monitor recently. Because I wanted a 2-monitor setup finally on my desk. It makes streaming a lot easier, among other things actually. And I have to admit, the new monitor I've got is much better than the old one in picture quality, and it really is amazing. And there's no way I can really convey this to you visually, on account of the fact that you'll be viewing this on your own monitor. But I have to say, it is amazing the difference a better screen actually makes to how good a game looks. It really is. Like, all the textures and stuff in this game suddenly look so much sharper and crisper. You know, now that I'm using a new screen to play this on. It's amazing. But anyway, just thought I'd mention that because it's just something that occurred to me when I booted the game up just now. But anyway, here we are in Jorvaska. We've had a half day's rest before being shunted off to the arse end of nowhere once again to go and rescue some poor unfortunate who's managed to get himself kidnapped. A citizen of the Rift, apparently. But they have managed to get themselves kidnapped and dragged all the way to Lost Echo Cave in Harfingar, which is one hell of a trek, really, for us to make. But we're going to make it nonetheless. As someone did rightly point out, this is something I was thinking myself at the time. It does, however, mean we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, because we can finally go back and report to General Tullius for our next kind of theatre of operations in Skyrim, as far as the Civil War is concerned. So we'll probably stop in at Solitude on our way there. Now, the route I'm thinking of taking, I could just jump on a cart, fast travel to Solitude that way, and I probably would if I was feeling less patient. But since I'm in the mood for exploring, what I think I'm going to do is jump on our horse and travel along up here into Hjalmarch, maybe stop by over in Northal for the night, then continue along this way through this area here. I have no idea what it's actually called, but between the River Hjal and the North Herald River. See, that's one of the things I love about having this map mod. You can actually see what the rivers are called now. South Herald River, the Hjal Falls. See, this is stuff that wasn't marked in the actual game map, you know. This is why I like having a map like this and not a bloody Google Earth imitation thing. It's just South Carth River, look at that. You know? This region here, Carth Western. North Carth River. Lake Yorgrim. Look at that, Lake Yorgrim. Brilliant. I didn't even know what that lake was called. And there's the River Yorgrim. The White River, Darkwater River, Lake Gaia, Lake Honrick, Traver River. It's great. It's all the things I love about the bleeding throat of the world. See, look, all the stuff I love about actual fantasy maps. Look, Pale Pass. Look at that. That's where Pale Pass is, ladies and gentlemen. In case you didn't already know, that's where it is. And of course you can see all the little paths and roads on here as well. Like, there's the Rifting Imperial camp over here, and look at all these little pathways and stuff. It makes you want to go explore there just to find out where they lead, you know? Ugh, brilliant. Can't plug this map mod enough. Lake Ilinelta over there as well. The White River is quite long, isn't it? Look at that. It runs all the way from Lake Ilinelta all the way through there and out into the Sea of Ghosts. You know? Which is the Sea of Ghosts, and it even has little ghost illustrations there as well. Kind of makes me wish there was some ghosts in the Sea of Ghosts, actually. But hey, whatever. I know that other little birds, little swallows flying along in there towards Solitude. Love it, it's great, it's brilliant. Anyway, enough gushing over the map. This is the route we're going to be taking, basically. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get there, episode-wise, but I'll do my best. But I feel like a journey, as long as it doesn't involve the Rift, basically. We've travelled through this fucking area so many times, we've done it to death. It's especially around Iverstead and that. And this particular route here, this one, I've lost count of the number of times I've gone over that bit. I'm sick to death of it. I don't want to see this part of Skyrim again for quite some time, as far as I'm concerned. But we've not been up here very much, to be honest. We've not even been to Morthal yet at all. Ustengrav is nearby, but I don't want to do Ustengrav yet, because, we're just not ready yet. There's other things I want to get done before we start continuing to progress in the main quest. And, you know, I mean, once we get... I can't remember exactly what it's set to, but I think, actually, when we get the whole of Jurgen Windcaller, that is when the Dragonborn DLC starts to get triggered, and I don't want to trigger that just yet. We've got a little while to go before we get to Dragonborn, as much as I'm looking forward to it. We're not doing it yet. So anyway, that's the route we're taking. I'm going to quickly pause here, and I'll be back in a second as I just configure some things. Alright then, let's just jump to it. Let's go. Let's get some of our gear on, and we'll get moving. Let's see. Wolfskin Cloak. Backpack. Ah, yes. Daedric Dagger. This is the one I picked up. Apparently there was another dagger, by the way, in that monastery place that we found, but I completely missed it, as is tradition when it comes to me and important items. It seems, these days. But regardless, we have this Daedric Dagger now. We also have the Blessed Blade of Stendarr. Now, the Blessed Blade of Stendarr, I have hotkeyed to number 1, so it's my default go-to melee weapon, and mainly because, well, the effect on it is nice. It does a decent amount of damage. It looks awesome! Seriously, that's one of the coolest swords we've had so far. As far as I'm concerned, I love it. I think it's great. But the Daedric Dagger is, in theory, actually better. It does more damage, and it attacks faster. Main problem with that, I think, is it probably doesn't have as much reach, which is something to consider, but other than that, it's kind of better in every way. Other than it doesn't get that bonus against undead and vampires and such. I am using both. I've got this, I mean, not literally both at the same time. I don't really think that's Claudius's thing. I think he's very much a tank with a shield. Although if I was playing a dual-wielding character, I think the Blessed Blade of Stendarr and this would be a nice combo. But I am keeping it anyway because it might be nice in close quarter battles when we're in caves and things like that, or possibly inside ruins. It might be a more convenient weapon to use, in conjunction with a shield especially. It kind of works as a sort of mini short sword in a way, actually. So that's why I'm keeping it. I'm not having any qualms about the fact that it's Daedric or anything like that. It's after all, it's not. There's nothing inherently evil about the material it's made from, I suppose. Claudius doesn't even bloody know much about it anyway. Perhaps he may even not realise that this is Daedric at all. He just thinks it's a very, very, very sharp dagger. That's a little unorthodox in its construction, a little suspicious looking in its appearance, but regardless, it's a very, very good dagger. So it's a nice thing to have. I mean, and you know, a dagger is a cool thing to have if you're a soldier on campaign, after all, because you can use this thing for all sorts of stuff, chopping vegetables for your food and that sort of thing. You know, it's a very practical item to have. So, and this gun's got a sort of nice curve to it. It reminds me almost like of an Egyptian Kopesh or something. But anyway, we're going to keep that basically with us as well. So if we're wailing away on something in close combat very quickly, very close up without much room to maneuver, it might be a nice thing to have. But on the whole, I think I'm going to default to this, just because that's a nice big sword. I like it. It looks cool. And it does a fair amount of damage too. So anyway, it would also make far more sense to use this on horseback than the dagger as well, actually, because even though I'm pretty sure reach isn't taken into account at all in Skyrim's mounted combat, because the mounted combat's a big rubbish really at the end of the day, I'm still, for RP reasons, basically deciding I am not going to be using, that's not it, not going to be using the Daedric dagger as a mounted weapon, because that's just silly. I mean, you'd be able to scout people with it while riding past, but that's about it. You'd have to seriously lean over in the saddle to actually hit anyone with this thing, riding on horseback. So That's the other reason, I think. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that. It was something I kind of figured out last time, but forgot to mention after I came back from my shopping break. What we don't want, we want that instead. So there you go, basically. That is... Oh, we also have this Orcish shortbow now, lest we forget. We did pick it up. We've replaced our Elven shortbow with it. It's really only a backup weapon, though, because Claudius generally prefers his crossbow. So... But we've got it anyway, especially for if we I don't know, if we're just hunting or something as well. Or something we just don't want to waste bolts on, ultimately. Because they're not as common as arrows, so you know, it's a good thing to have. And it's a good bow as well, an Orcish short bow. It's quite good indeed. So it's time we made our way to Whiterun. Finally. So anyway, that's worth pointing out right about now, by the way. I seem to have finally solved a lot of my problems I was having with regards to excuse me, viewers. A lot of the problems I was having with regards to my computer crashing. Some of you will be aware of the problem I was kind of having because you've been to my streams where it's happened sometimes, where basically the computer would just black out and nothing short of, you know, flipping it off at the power switch would actually fix it and allow me to reboot the computer properly. A hard reset wouldn't actually work. I have finally discovered after quite a long time that the problem was to do with my CPU. I will explain this as I go, I think, actually, otherwise we're going to be here forever. The problem was to do with my CPU, but I still don't know exactly precisely what the problem was, but I've narrowed it down to two things. Either the CPU was overheating and causing the computer to basically shut off, because and there's one very good argument towards it being that, and this is only in my basically very, very limited computing knowledge. In fact, this is more an educated guess than anything, because I don't know much about computers, how they actually work. I've never installed a single damn component in my life without the help of a friend who knew what he was doing. So basically, my first theory, and possibly the more likely one, is it was overheating, and the reason is that because whenever these crashes happened, the CPU fan would just rev up to 100% as the screen went black, which makes me think that it was getting to some sort of automatic shut-off in order to sort of stop itself from becoming damaged by overheating far too much. Which seems fairly likely to me. The CPU was getting quite hot. Under load, something around 75 degrees C was the norm for it, which is kind of nuts, honestly. And who are these people? Oh, it's the Khajiits. Hello. 75 degrees C was kind of the norm when it was under load, and it would probably go higher when I wasn't looking. I did some tests using SpeedFan, and that's the kind of temperature it seemed to stay on, and it was becoming a real problem of late because whenever I was doing anything like playing a full screen game like this or something, especially when recording, my fans would rev up to such a high level that they were interfering with the recording. They were creating noise. You may have noticed in the last episode that I do sometimes put noise gates on the microphone audio channel on these videos, where basically it cuts out all microphone audio if the noise level is at a certain point, which basically means you can't hear any background noise when I'm not saying anything. Especially useful when you're having dialogue conversations with NPCs and stuff, basically. However, I need to go right at this junction here. However, it was especially noticeable in the last episode because of how high-pitched my fans were in the background. Every time I opened my mouth to speak, you could hear the fans sort of chime in behind my voice and then go away again once I'd finished speaking. It was getting pretty bad. Right now, however, I mean, you can probably hear the fans, to be honest with you. I do not have the quietest of computers, but right now, that's no longer as nearly as high-pitched and awkward as it was before. Oh, it's some Thelmor. Well, I guess I'll leave him to it. That guy's probably a Stormcloak anyway. But it shouldn't be doing it now. Basically, you shouldn't be able to hear it doing it now. And the reason for that is because I have underclocked my CPU. It's now running at 3.4 GHz as opposed to 4 GHz, which is its usual level. Now, this means that my game performance may be a little sluggish compared to normal. I've not noticed any serious sluggishness so far. I think the difference is pretty negligible, honestly. Because I'm still running with the same amount of RAM and GPU and all that sort of nonsense. So I don't think it's having much of an impact. It probably would if I was playing something really state-of-the-art and brand new, like Tomb Raider or Far Cry 3 or something, but ultimately, or Metro Last Light, which I haven't tried out yet with the new underclocking going on, but basically I've had to do it, and that seems to have solved my problems. I've noticed that the CPU under load now hovers around 60 degrees, usually around 59 degrees actually, on average, which is much, much healthier, and which leads me to believe that, oh dear, okay, no, apparently not a wrong turning, just, I think my map might be lying to me slightly. Yeah, this doesn't look terribly... Oh my god, my poor horse, he's got an arrow sticking out of his head. That's kind of hilarious. Basically, the other cause, possibly I thought it might have been, is that my... uh-oh. Skeleton Scourge Hero. Oh boy, no. I think we're gonna leave. Oh, I'm not dead, apparently. I'm about to be, though, I think. What is it with me and the undead? Oh, dear. Alright, well, let's steer clear of that place. In the future. Christ. And my map is lying to me, apparently. That's not so good. There I was singing the praises of the map mod. Oh, dear. Anyway. Oh, we're the way back here, are we? Well, never mind. Basically, so the other problem I thought it might have been was my CPU was actually demanding too much power, more power than my PSU could actually supply, and therefore that was also causing the damn thing to cut out as well. Wrong horse. So that could have been it too. It's difficult to tell which it was, honestly. It could have been either or a combination of both, in fact, who knows. But in either way, since I underclocked this CPU down at 3.4 GHz, which ironically is kind of more on the level that my... Well, I'll be damned. It's the Dawnguard. Hail, friends. Let's whistle at him, why not?
Huh? You expect me to believe that? Don't do that.
Okay, well there you go. That's a new feature. That's a new addition from organised. No, it's not organised bandits in Skyrim. What we're talking about, it's immersive patrols. I think it was that was doing that. Yeah, Dawnguard patrols now. Interesting stuff. Anyway, you can see them actually doing a bit of vampire hunting, which is pretty cool, I guess. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so basically I've had to underclock it, and ironically now my CPU is running at the same clocks. No, it's not clock speed, is it? But, you know, the same speed that my old CPU was. So, that's weird, I guess, but whatever. I mean, I do have twice the cores in this thing. The thing, just in general, it's a much higher performance thing than the other one, but there is a certain irony there, I have to admit. Those, yeah, that's Tamriel. Thought it might have been Stormcloaks for a second there. Oh, they bring their goblins along for the ride as well, huh? What? Oh, it's just wolves and spiders. You guys have fun with that. Hey, Stormcloak, where do you think you're going? I'm warning you. Try and run, and I will cut you down. Yeah, there's a good prisoner of war, right. Some people got really annoyed with me for killing those Riften guards in the last episode, actually. Not sure I care, honestly. People seem to get annoyed about a lot of things in this Let's Play. But no, I don't. There was one guy was moaning at me because they were just doing their jobs, and you know they also hunt down bandits and stuff. And wow, more Falmor, crikey. Well, anyway, they're just doing their jobs and that sort of thing. And well, to be perfectly honest with you, you must have a very naive view of what civil wars are actually like. If you're gonna tell me off for attacking enemy soldiers because they were just doing their jobs, I mean, be realistic here. Come on. I don't like that. Wolves again. Go on then. How about you? A lot of you. Interesting to see them hunting in packs though, for once, as opposed to just like one or two of them. Come on, you silly puppins. Time to die. Brought this on yourselves. And don't even dare think about killing my horse, either. Right. You know, I mean, the thing is, Claudius is a soldier. He's fighting in a war. It's his job to kill guys on the other side of the war. That's what you do when you're a soldier in a war. And those guys were trying to kill him. They were trying to kill and or capture him, which is something you're generally not supposed to do when you're a soldier in a war. Get killed or captured. In fact, it's precisely the opposite thing you should do. So he had to fight his way out of that situation, and that's what he did. He fought his way out of that situation, and I don't think he has any serious remorse about it because, well, you know, there are soldiers and there's a war on. You know, they know the risks. And frankly, he does not like the Stormcloaks. We've been over this many times. Claudius does not like the Stormcloaks, and by proxy, anyone who happens to support them. And I'm keeping an eye on that bear over there. Seriously, Matt, what's going on here? Should we skip Morthal altogether and just follow along the South Herald River? I'm thinking we should just follow along the South Herald River at this point. My map's confusing me. So, yeah, I'm just going to continue along this way. I think. Not that way, though, because that leads to the Graveyard of Doom. Let's see. Let's do some basic landmark recognition here. These are mountains. These are mountains. This is the river. So we should probably go this way, I guess. It's not a very big river, is it? You forgive me for thinking it was a bit larger based on the map, but... Is there someone fighting a bear up there? There seems to be some sort of epic duel going on there between Bear and Nord. Well, I guess we'll leave him to it. Green Spring Hollow. So yeah, anyway, I'm trying to put. I thought all this little topic out in my head before I started, and now it's all going to shit basically because I've been distracted. I probably explained this in a really cack-handed fashion now, but never mind. The point is, Claudius does not like Stormcloaks at all. He's got no reason to like the buggers. They certainly when he started his journey in Skyrim, he disliked them on the principle that they were disloyal and whatnot, you know. But now I think he very much dislikes them, not just because of that, but because they're very much the aggressors here. It's General Tullius puts it in the opening sort of prologue bit. They started this war. They're led by Claudius feels as a would-be tyrant. Devil? Oh, it's a slaughterfish. And they are the aggressors here. He's seen what they're capable of. He saw them attack Whiterun. He helped defend the city. Whiterun, a town which, in spite of himself, I think Claudius has become quite fond of now, actually, because he's spent so much time there and gotten to know the residents a little bit. And my god, that's a big slaughterfish down there. That indeed was a slaughterfish. Yeah, there he is. Little bugger. Ugh. Ghosts. I can see ghosts. No more distractions. Oh my goodness. I don't want to spend 5 episodes getting to and from Jarlmarch. Oh god. So anyway, Claudius has come to think of Whiterun, if not as home, as a home. A home away from home. Cyrodiil, obviously, for him at the minute, is still his home. He intends to go back there at the earliest opportunity. Quite frankly, I'd like to go back and live in the Imperial city, where the weather is less harsh and the people are a little less harsh as well. And he won't get called milk drinker, so on and so forth. But you know, he doesn't dislike Skyrim as much as he used to when he originally came here. I think that should be pretty obvious. You know, he's starting to get used to this strange and hostile frontier. He's becoming accustomed to it. Right, let's go up this way, I think. I need to get past this waterfall somehow, but yeah, let's go this way. He feels he has a stake in this war now, I think. Beforehand, he was just a soldier sent to some strange land, strange, unforgiving province on the frontier to fight a bunch of rebels who were kicking up a fuss about something he really couldn't even begin to understand properly. Ooh, don't really want to go in there. But now he feels like he has a stake in it. He's a member of the Companions now, you know. Sort of, anyway. He's kind of on probation in a way, but, you know, he's a member of the Companions now. He feels like he's becoming part of this land. And the Stormcloaks, in his view, are trying to ruin it. And he's not going to stand for that. And if anyone wants to support the Stormcloaks and ally with them, then they're fair game, frankly. You can say, oh, they were just guards, they were just doing their job and they're keeping the village safe from bandits and things, but, you know, the NKVD, the infamous, you know, the infamous secret service agents of the Stalin regime in Russia in the 1930s through to the 1950s, they were ultimately policemen in an official capacity. You know, you can't argue that they weren't bad people because they also happened to go around locking up serial murderers and rapists and stuff, which they did. You know, one of those interesting misconceptions people have about the Russian Gulag system, for example. I mean, I'm not condoning it, but don't get me wrong, I think it was horrific, but one of the misconceptions people do sometimes have about it is that they were solely for political prisoners. People view them as being like Nazi concentration camps, and that wasn't really the case. Regular criminals were sent to the Gulag camps, along with political prisoners. The NKVD, Stalin's secret police, they were responsible for rounding up those kinds of people in addition to political deviants, as I don't know what the hell they'd call them, but you know what I mean. But you can't say that they were good people who didn't, you know, deserve any ill will just because they were locking up a few regular criminals from time to time. Are you guys after me? Or are you... Okay, you're after me. You've had your chance. What the hell's your problem? I thought they were just hunters. Apparently they're bandits or something. And there's a bear. Right, please don't kill me. You should have thought, if you didn't want to die, you shouldn't have friggin' attacked me. Stupid woman. Now, you can have... The bear finished off the other guy. Sorry, bear, you're not getting a free lunch out of me. You're not. It's not happening. Is that a... Oh, it's a little bear cub. That's adorable. But we really need to go before Mummy Bear thinks we're after her children. Oh. Anyway. I think that little rant has probably outstayed its welcome, so I'm going to shut up now, but I feel my point still stands. You should not get annoyed about... That's not what I meant to do at all. You should not get annoyed about Claudius going to town on Stormcloak soldiers or affiliates of the Stormcloaks, because it's going to happen. I understand that a lot of you, well, I don't think a lot of you, I think it's a very vocal minority, quite frankly, don't seem to be able to get past the idea that I am role-playing a character and that, you know, the devil? Is it more Thalmor? What are you lot up to? You have to kill that bear? Oh, how public-spirited of you. Unusually public-spirited of you. Whatever. And you're not too bothered, are you? Oh, they're off to clear out that fort of... Fort of... What exactly? Dunno, whatever. In any case, yeah, I feel I should make I feel I've made my point, but yeah, some people don't seem to be able to get around the fact that I'm role-playing a character, and not necessarily role-playing a what people might consider a nice character. I went over this a little bit in... Oh, it's a dog. Hello. Where are you going, dog? Okay. Why do I feel like I'm being lured into a trap or something? But yeah, no, some people don't seem to be able to get their heads around it, and I explained this in my stream I did a little while ago. That sometimes the best characters are not the ones that you can immediately find likable. A lot of people don't find Claudius a very likable character, and I don't see that as a problem at all. In fact, he was deliberately, when I set out, not supposed to be an immediately likable character. It was a character that was supposed to have a little bit of depth to him and a little bit of potential development. Hello, Miko? He dead Nord. Well, after all my years of living in these woods, it looks like the rock joint will finally be the end of me. I guess that's fine. All my friends are long dead. The only one left is poor Miko. He was always a loyal companion, and I know he'll be able to take care of himself. I hope someday I'll see him again. Aww. Was he your master? He's dead, I'm afraid. I can't help him. Poor dog. Hey, nice. What do you want me to do? Do you want to come with me? You can't stay out here, can you, mate? We don't want to feed you. Come on, you can follow me if you want. Come on, then. Come on, Miko. Come on. I like how we know his name as well, because we read that journal. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have a pet now, apparently. That was unexpected. Gosh, the game does look pretty, doesn't it? Look at all that green. It makes such a nice change from the brown of the rift. Well then. Come along, hound. Let's, tell you what, let's go on foot for the rest of the way. How do I... All shall follow. Excellent. Right then, well. Let's, well, you know Lydia, but... God, there's animals everywhere now. Dogs, horses, this is getting absurd. Never mind. And I'm covered in blood once again. Never mind. I think Claudius is used to it by now. Oh, that was cool. Hello, Miko. You are actually adorable. I don't think even Claudius could leave you alone in the woods to die. So you better come with us. Come on, dog. Well, this isn't a bad person anyway. He's just a slightly conceited one at times. What are these gentlemen up to?
Hail, friend. It's good to see another merry soul enjoying this fine day.
It is a rather fine day, actually, to be fair.
But you look tired. Come, share a bottle of honey brew mead with me.
I'd rather not, honestly. I'm not sure Claudius is really a fan of meat. It's too sweet. Thanks, but no thanks.
Cheers, my friend. May your adventures find you fame and fortune.
I don't know if that's really what I want, but fine, thank you. Fame and fortune. Well, it's not our choice, is it? We're the bleeding Dragonborn. Lonsdale farmhouse discovered. Gosh, you know what? It does look warm, doesn't it? I feel like we shouldn't almost needn't be wearing that. Long dog and horse. Bloody, it's like got a bloody caravan following me around now. This is whatever. Just whatever. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, you know, I mean, I used an example once. Someone asked me a question about this basically in the stream. Oh no, the bane of AI pathfinding. Random objects in the middle of the road. Can you deal with this, Miko? That is the question. This is your test. Good enough. Horse doesn't even give a damn. He's just dragging his feet over there. Here we go. Dragon's Bridge. We're on the right track, fellas. So yeah, I brought the example of Walter White as being a fantastic character, but yet one who is just generally speaking not what you'd call likable at all. In fact, he's a pretty unlikable sort of fellow, and yet he makes a fantastic protagonist. You know, a lot of people are giving me comments saying, "Oh, I like Idris more than Claudius," and you know, yeah, okay, of course you bloody well like Idris more than Claudius. Idris is a nicer guy than Claudius. Ultimately, Idris is a bit boring, frankly. What gets me sometimes is when people go, you know, and obviously I love playing as Idris, and I love the Oblivion Let's Play. It's all good fun. Don't get me wrong, but what gets me sometimes when people say, "Oh, I think Idris is a much deeper character than Claudius," and I think, you what? You're joking, right? Idris is it's honestly quite a dull character. He's a high elf wizard who likes aliens and is generally good. He is a good guy wizard. He's basically a cheap rip-off of Gandalf with a penchant for archaeology. It's just there's nothing terrifically interesting about that, you know. Whereas you've got Claudius, on the other hand, who has a deeply flawed personality. Who... What is it with Falmor today? They're everywhere. They're like rats. Anyway, he has a deeply flawed personality, and, you know, he came into Skyrim with some really quite sort of silly preconceptions about the place and its people, ultimately. You know, preconceptions that, however, were formed over a period of time and a certain amount of exposure to perhaps some of the less savoury aspects of Nord culture he encountered up on the Cyrodiil's frontier, you know. But, you know, he's gradually overcoming them. He's become, you know, the, you know, the Dragonborn. I mean, he's still wrestling with the absurdity of that, but, you know. And some people seem to have got into their heads that Claudius is a bad guy. I don't think he's a bad guy at all. He has his own views. you know, who's right and who's wrong, and what's right and what's wrong. But ultimately, you know, his quest as the Dragonborn is driven out of a sense of, you know, overriding sense of responsibility. Really, he feels that, you know, Akatosh, or, you know, whoever, has given him this power directly from the heavens, and with a purpose. Claudius is absolutely certain of that. Like, he doesn't know exactly what his purpose is yet, but he knows there is one. He was given this power for a reason, and it's his job, it's his task in life now to find out what that reason is, and make sure he fulfills whatever mission it is that the gods have set him to do. You know, or die trying, ultimately. And I think that's a very noble thing, quite frankly. He could quite easily just run off back to Cyrodiil, buy himself a nice house with all the money he's accrued from his time here in Skyrim, and just, you know, live out the rest of his days in the Imperial city and just sort of enjoy himself and have a very easy life, and fuck off, ambulance! Honestly. I cannot wait till next year when I will no longer be living on a main road. Oh, dear me. Anyway, you know, he could easily just buggered off back to Cyrodiil and, you know, taken the easy way out, but he hasn't. He's decided that's not what's going to happen. That's the easy way out. He'd be letting himself down and letting a lot of other people down, and letting the gods down ultimately if he decided to do that. So he's not going to do that.
You should see me when you get bored. A coin or two for a veteran? It's not much to ask.
But he's a man with a very short temper. He's got a very clear idea in his head of why is everything so yellow? My goodness. Anyway, he's got a very clear idea of right and wrong, and who's bad and who's good, and like I said, he sees the Stormcloaks as ultimately the main villain at the minute. He sees them ultimately as the bad guys. Maybe their hearts are in the right place, some of them. Nobody likes the Thalmor around here, except for the Thalmor anyway. You know, Claudius doesn't like the Thalmor. He can live with them, but he doesn't like them very much, ultimately. But starting a massive rebellion that's draining all the Empire's resources and manpower, in order just basically to declare independence, reduce Skyrim, which has been built up as a sort of, you know, a very organized, you know, Imperial province for quite some time, and reducing it back to, you know, what's his face, the blacksmith in Riverwood calls the bad old days when the Jarls used to war against one another. Because think about it, what happens when Ulfric dies, you know? What happens to this united Skyrim of his once Ulfric is dead? Who gets to be king after him, you know? Who's going to decide they have the right to be king? Is Ulfric going to have kids? What if he has kids and those kids want to fight each other for the right to be king of Skyrim? You know, what if he doesn't have kids? Who gets to decide then? You're gonna have like a big face-off between Galmar and some other high-ranking Stormcloak commander as to who gets to be king? You know, it's not good. It's not good at all, Miko. People will fight over it as well. They'll start trying to do what he did. Kill the previous king in order to make yourself king. I mean, what kind of rule of law is that, you know? There's good and bad sides to the Empire, but at least there's a civilized method of having one ruler follow another when these guys are around. You know, until now it's not been the case that a guy could just march straight into the Imperial Palace, stab the opposing king in the face and just declared, I am the king now. You know, that's barbarism, Miko. You can't have that. Bad news. Anyway. I've completely lost my train of thought now. I've just gone to a big rant about ultimately nothing. Never mind. Let's go talk to General Tullius. But, you know, hopefully maybe you've got a better idea of Claudius. Who he is and what he's about and what he's doing and why he does what he does, maybe. it's probably not going to shut the complainers up, because they will complain about anything from
Taking the pale
character skin colour to, you know,
within striking distance of wind.
killing guys of the opposing faction which they happen to like more than the faction you're playing as at the time.
Battles are won by trained and disciplined men. Wars are won by talented and exceptional individuals. I'm raising you to prefect. Take this blade as a gift and symbol of your new rank. You've earned it.
Oh, crikey, thank you. The steel broads. I guess we'll be tossing that one on the horse as well. What are my new orders, sir?
Make your way to our camp in the Rift. We have a few surprises for the Stormcloaks lined up.
The Rift.
For the Empire.
Yes, sir.
There's not much up there. But if we can regain Winterhold, our proximity to Windhelm should keep Ulfric wary and wasting troops garrisoned at home.
Very good, sir. Very good. The Rift, Miko. The Rift. After we're done with the Stormcloaks, General, can we lead some sort of campaign against the bear population of the Rift? I'd appreciate that. To be quite fair. And the vampire population of the Rift too, while we're at it. Gosh, I don't know what to do, Miko. It's 4:51 PM. It's not. It's a very low-flying eagle. It's not late enough in the day to justify buggering off at the tavern and resting till tomorrow, I think. So we're gonna head straight back out again. We'll get ourselves to this cave, and then we'll go look for this poor sod who's got himself kidnapped, I think. And I suppose you want to come along too, eh, Miko? I don't know where I'm going to leave you anyway, so... nowhere for me to put you. Ironically enough, people have been nagging me to get a new companion, and, well, I had no plans to. Look who turned up. Miko, get out of the mud. Honestly. Silly dog, come on. Dear me. Yeah, I bet you're all filthy now, aren't you? Well, I'm not going to clean you. You can deal with it yourself, mate. Horse, let's drag you off to the stable, shall we? Possibly? I could go galloping along on you, but I think Miko might have trouble keeping up. Well, I don't know. It doesn't look like a running dog, unfortunately. If he was a... Miko, if you were a greyhound, we could probably charge off on the horse and you'd follow, no problem. And you'd probably love it too. But you're not. You're some sort of wolfhound, I think. You're more of a hunting dog. So, right, well, come on then, horse. Let's go shove you in the stables, and then I'll travel off on foot into the mountains, I think. I may want to take my firewood and tent with me, though, when we do go. Just in case we need to set up a bit of shelter. Because it's going to get mighty cold up there. That much is certain. Exposure's already -4. Apparently the air is biting cold around here, although you can be forgiven for thinking otherwise looking around, but whatever. Now then. Captain's farm, which seems to also serve as the city's stables. Come on, horse. There's a good horse. There you go. Now, wait here. Good. I'm going to put my cloak on. I'm also going to put my armoured fur hood on. And is there a fire I can go stand next to for a bit? I guess not. And we are, before I forget, go get that tent and my firewood and whatnot. Cooking pot. We only need the small one, I think. Oh no, that's a leather one, isn't it? We know we're gonna have to take the fur one. No. Let's take the large fur tent. Fortunately, I believe Lydia had the small fur tent. Unfortunately, Lydia is no longer with us. So, charcoal. 1 piece of firewood. Well, bother and befuddle. Where's my axe? I need my axe as well. There we go. We'll have to gather some firewood now, maybe? I really don't know, honestly. Can I just... Do I have that mod installed anymore? I can't remember. I used to have a mod that allowed me to just get my axe out and go to town on a nearby tree. Doesn't look like that's the case anymore, unfortunately. Never mind. We'll just have to gather some firewood. That'll take a while, though. That'll take almost an hour, I think. It's a shame we can't buy firewood somewhere. Maybe there's a wood chopping block in the over by the farm. You'd think there would be. If not, I think there might be a lumber mill down by the river somewhere. I tell you what, by the time we got all this sorted out, it'll be time to go to the bloody inn. I reckon. Is that? Nope, that's just a pile of sacks. Come on. I need firewood. There's firewood all lying around, but there's no chopping block, sadly. Ah, here we go. Right, that's what I wanted to see. I can do this in a few minutes now instead of taking an hour to go chop down some trees and such. We only need 6 to light one fire, so it won't be here too long. Yes, well, apparently now we have a new companion, Miko, the dog. That's fair enough. Seems to be a bit of a theme at the minute, dog companions. There we go. Let me just double check before we leave. That is enough, right? Yep. Like I said, I wasn't planning on getting a new NPC companion for a while. I think Claudius has still been kind of enjoying the solitude a little bit, actually, with Lydia now gone. He's become quite a sort of rangerish sort of a character in a way, actually. I mean, look at him now. That is a man... Bloodstains are ridiculous, but that is a man who is clearly used to the outdoors. And, you know, just ranging across the wilderness, horse in tow, was suiting him just fine, I think, for a while. Just him and his own thoughts, ultimately, and the nearby wildlife. And I, as a player as well, was kind of enjoying not having to cater to the needs of a badly pathfinded AI companion as well. So, you know, but we've got Miko now, and I don't know, a dog companion would be quite good. I bet the companions would love you, wouldn't they? Yeah, they would. We'll have to take you to your Vasca. Maybe you could become the companion's dog. Become the mascot of the entire guild. Now then, let's see, we don't want to go to the Thalmor bloody embassy. We want to go to Lost Echo Cave, so we could go to Shadow Green Cavern if we really wanted to and try and get that helmet for Noster, which we tried to do ages ago and failed, but it's a bit of a trip actually. So I think we'll just go this way. Into the mountains and let's try and get into Ruin of Doom up there. Oh, crikey. Luminek. Miko. I'm sure I want to go there in a hurry. Anyway. I'm trying to equip my crossbow, or better yet, equip the old Orcish shortbow. We've got plenty of steel arrows to waste, so why not? Why the heck not, eh? What's this? Not more Thalmor? I am surprised. An Imperial soldier and some sort of noble. At least that one seems to know which way he's going, not accidentally heading to Windhelm. I'm hungry, apparently. Oh, very well. Oops. No, bread. I'm full. There we go. Quick evening snack. Keep us going. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Air is biting cold, minus 39 exposure. Oh my goodness. A little thirsty as well, apparently. Well, that we can fix pretty sharpish. A bit more water, eh? Crikey. Okay. The rest of that boiled water. This has been quenched. There we go. I think, yeah, we're getting a little bit chilly. The edges of the screen are starting to get a little blurry. Might have to set up an impromptu camp, I think, Miko, and just warm up a little bit in a while. But oh, yeah, and surprise, surprise, more Thalmor. Okay. Well, that's not a very reassuring sound. Uh-oh. What's that? It's a Legion soldier. Stormcloak leader. Yeah. Get him, Miko. Trusty war dog. There we go. Hello there, Imperial captain.
Stay alert. Never know when those Stormcloak dogs might charge.
Yeah, apparently not. You look a bit like me, you know. Although my boots are better than yours. What did this chap have on him then? He didn't look like a Stormcloak, but apparently he is a Stormcloak. Huh, whatever. Scaled horn armor. God, if I was a light armor character, I'd be all over that stuff. An Imperial patrol. We are going the right way, aren't we? Yep, we are. Just need to follow this road, pretty much. And eventually we will get there. Oh, what the devil? Ah, these are the rest of the Stormcloaks. They didn't stand much of a chance by the looks of things. They were pretty handily wiped out, in fact. Oh, look at that sunset, cranky. Riding off, well, not riding, but marching off into the sunset, Miko. Also, you're on the cusp of catching hypothermia, which somewhat ruins the mood, but well, we can't have everything, can we? There's the barrow up there. There's a bloody big foreboding-looking castle over there. Never seen anything quite like that before. Uh-oh. You keep him pinned in place, Miko. Whoa, 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 what's going on? A pack of wolves! My goodness. You're dying on me now, Miko. He just got you, damn it. I should probably get stuck in. Goodness me, there's so many of them. And we're dead. Oh god. Where is the last autosave? Bet you anything it was just outside Solitude, or even worse, inside Solitude when we just arrived. Ah! For heaven's sake. don't think my health was even that low then. I think I just got BS one-shotted a little bit there as Miko's sitting in the mud again. That's very disturbing, dog. Please don't do that. Who the balls is Eris? Anyway. Alright then, well, I'm just going to cut the recording out here, I think, and I'll rejoin you, and I've... Hello, Dorian. Other person I've never heard of. When I've regained lost ground, so to speak. So, BRB. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I decided to... I was getting very bored. So I decided to just fast travel to Fort Haragstead here, which is... We were basically here along this bit of the road anyway. Hence the horse being here. You're not here. You're back at the stables, you silly horse. As far as I'm concerned. Anyway, thought we'd fast travel here to get back to where we were, roughly speaking, and it seems to have worked out alright. We're still bloody cold from the journey and whatnot, and yeah, of course, this remember is an Imperial fort now because we cleared it out from of bandits when we joined the Legion. So it seems like a decent enough place to actually just sort of put our feet up, Miko, and warm up a bit before continuing our journey. Hello. Apparently we're allowed to take that stuff. For reasons that I do not understand. Stand next to the forge for a bit, maybe that'll warm us up. You know what, screw that, let's just go inside. My goodness. Find a nice comfy chair or something. Oh, look at that, it's a nice warm fire. Although it's pretty dingy in here, my goodness, look at this. Don't suppose you guys could, you know, find some more... Well, you're doing your best, aren't you? You've got candles everywhere. Hello.
Need something?
No, just,
right,
this chair by the fire would be nice, but beggars can't be choosers. The other, what was the other building was the prison, I think, wasn't it? Whatever, we'll just stand here for a bit. Warm up a little. There we go, see? How you doing, Miko? Time for you to go back home, dog. Where is back home for him, though? That's the question. What does doing you know do? You're on to... Ah! Miko is, in fact, essential, then. Good. Good to know. I didn't mind Lydia not being essential, but I'd rather Miko was, because there's nothing more depressing than a dead dog. And, you know, quite frankly, well, he's a dog. He's not a human I can give orders to and stuff like that. And, you know, I can see him charging face first into, like, you know, an ancient dragon or something and getting turned into a piece of doggy toast. Without me being able to do anything about it. You know, Lydia was different because she could pretty much take care of herself, but you know, Miko is, well, he's just a dog, bless him. We probably wouldn't have him following us around all the time anyway. I wasn't kidding earlier. I think we might let him live at Jorvaska for a while, honestly, if I don't feel like taking him out with me, because maybe I want to use my horse. Well, let him stay at Jorvaska with the rest of the companions. I'm sure they'd love him, so. For reasons, well, just because he's a charming dog, but also for reasons that Claudius is not yet entirely aware of. Let's put it that way. Let's just say they're definitely dog people. The companions, definitely dog people. And we'll leave it at that. Bugger off, horse, you're not here. Look at that sky. Well, I think we'll carry on into the night. It's not far away. Once we've got this done, we can trek back in the dark, and then we can rest at the fort. That's my plan for now. What the devil? What the heck? Goblins. Hey, leave Miko alone. Damn it, leave the poor dog alone. What the heck is wrong with you? Oops, sorry dog. You're right there, mate. This is like having a horse in Oblivion. All they give a damn about is killing your poor pets. They don't care about you. They will run straight past you in order to kill the dog for some reason. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, it's nighttime now, so it's going to get especially cold. So let's get the old torch out for a bit of added exposure protection. People sometimes ask you, why don't you use your torch when you're getting cold? And the answer is because it looks silly when you're running around with a torch in the daytime. Frankly. And I need these things for when I get into dark ruins and things. I can't just go wasting them all the time because I can't be bothered to put a hat on. Ah, yes. Now, here we are. Right, okay, this is where we got to before. Oh, Christ. Bit of lag there. I hate ice wraiths so much. So difficult to fight. Alright, yeah, and here's the ice wolf. Ah, there we go. Have a bit of foos. Oh, don't kill me. Haven't quick saved in a while. Oh, how, Claudius, how in God's name are you getting killed by wolves? My God, man, you've killed dragons before and you're getting murdered by savage ice wolves? Okay, I did manage to quick save. Thank God for that. You, though, Mr. Ice Wraith, you can just hop on your bike and pedal away. Miko, could you maybe help me with this savage ice wolf? I'd appreciate it. What are you doing, dog? Are you injured? That's not what I meant to do, but never mind. Yeah, any blood out. Thank you for getting here in time, you useless. What are you? I can't even see. Dawnguard.
Got me thinking. Maybe I'm the Dragonborn, and I just don't know it yet.
Somehow I don't think so, love. Just call it a hunch. Yeah, like arriving just after the nick of time, you useless. Get out of my way. Go on, skedaddle. Shoot. This is my ice wolf. I killed it fair and square. Be gone. Now then. Ugh. How much further to the sodding cave? Not much further. I tell you what, something about running through icy woods. Hello, random deer. Hello, bloody big tower. It's interesting, never seen that before. Maybe we'll have a look at it on our way back. Something about running through icy woods at night with a torch that reminds me of Blood Moon. You're another dog, aren't you? I was gonna say, what are you doing, Miko? Hello, dog. What the devil? Skeevers! My goodness. That's what he was growling. I thought he was growling at me. I'll be damned. Hold on. Lost Echo Cave. Here we are. Random dog. I'm sure he must be a hunter's dog or something. The hunter is around here somewhere, I imagine. Okay. Lost Echo Cave, people. Let's do this.